little bit better. I'm not on the PowerPoint yet.
Yeah. On the actual module, if you look at the wheel, you can click on each of those plus signs and it'll give you a little bit more detail as to what each of those steps are. All right, so, okay, so the next section of the module was protecting the coaching time. And this one it really resonated with me because this has been a tough one for me. I'm a first-year coach, academic coach, and finding the time to actually do my walkthroughs and to provide that feedback in a timely manner and whatnot has been pretty difficult. So in the module, it discusses Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And then it also asks you some questions, gives you some questions that you can ask yourself to help you prioritize your day and see where your time is actually going. Some of the suggested recommendations in the module is that a coach should spend 70% of their day with a one-on-one interaction with the teacher. That includes a walkthrough or a feedback or a meeting, anything like that. It recommends it to have at least 20 interactions per week, which average out to about 4 per day. So as a coach, I should be having at least at minimum 4 interactions per day with the teacher. And so they suggest this protocol for you to be able to protect that coaching time and make sure that you are making the coaching time. So step 1 is to set a 3-minute timer and get some stickies. And just within those 3 minutes, just write out everything that you have to do. Don't worry about editing. Don't worry about any of that. And find out, and then get all your stickies in an area where you can sort them out. And it has you sort them out by this quadrant, which I thought was awesome. So there's 4 different categories, important and urgent. So you would put the stickies that are very important and that have to get done right now. And then stickies that are not important, but they still have to get done soon. They have a quick deadline. And then important and not urgent, and not important and not urgent. So this would kind of help you. Yes, you have your, it's like a to-do list, right? But you're prioritizing everything where it needs to go. What I like about the stickies too is that you can start taking the stickies off as you complete that task, or marking them off or something like that. So I really like this idea because my planner was kind of not working. And then it also talks about sometimes the teacher is the one that gives you barriers. It's not just you and the duties that you have. And so on the module, it had a discussion that a coach had with a teacher, and some of the findings that they found were here. So these are the barriers that the teacher expressed. She's feeling very busy and very overwhelmed. The times that they had set up to meet were no longer good, or the strategy that they were working on is no longer something that's needed. So being able to have those discussions with the teachers and then finding solutions to that, right? Because then your coaching won't be effective if it's not a strategy that the teacher's no longer interested in or has already completed, or maybe something changed in the classroom that we need to target something different. And so on the PowerPoint, it gives you some suggested solutions, right? To ask the teacher if she could choose a new challenge that would support her, changing up the time, and so on and so forth. Okay, and so the last piece, because this module had 4 different sections, the last section discusses amplifying the coaching impact, and this one was really, really short. It starts off with this quote, which I really liked. It says, "Culture is like the wind. It is invisible, yet its effect can be seen and felt. When it is blowing in your direction, it makes for smooth sailing. When it is blowing against you, everything is more difficult." And at least for me as the academic coach here, that really resonated with me, because culture has been something that I've been really trying to work on this year. And I guess you do feel kind of like the winds get thrown off your sails sometimes. But I do have an impact here. As coaches, we do have an impact, and we do set that culture in our campuses. So knowing that the technology and being able to model that and ensuring that teachers have that, especially with the hybrid teaching that we're having to do now. And then aligning that to where we're wanting to go as a campus, and then making time to ensure that we're having all that done and aligned and is coaching. And then how is it going to impact the overall culture of our school, of our campus? So I just listed the bullet points, kept it kind of short and sweet. These are some of the ways, recommendations that you can amplify the impact that you're having. So you're having these meetings, you're doing the walkthroughs, you're doing the coaching, you're all that. How can we amplify that? And so the first one is encouraging coaching. I think that that's one, talks about, don't just say, well, you're not being effective, right? I mean, because then that person's no longer going to listen to you. So knowing how to give that feedback, asking open-ended questions, right? And really just the way that you communicate with teachers. Celebrating the wins. I think this is kind of a big one this year in particular, because I know teachers have been so stressed out. We all are. We're all, with things on our head, and you do something and, oh, great, you got that done. Awesome. Let's move on to the next thing. And you really don't celebrate it. I feel like we really didn't do that much this year. And remembering the importance of that. And then fostering teacher leadership. That's another one. And this is where I had the pineapple thing that I thought was really cool. Is having teacher leaders. I know some of the campuses are DLX campuses now. So having teacher leads go into other classrooms to see those lessons. But they actually, I'm going to stop sharing so I can show you this one. They suggested a pineapple chart. And I hope I'm going to project the correct thing. Can you guys see a chart? No?
We see the slide for amplifying the impact of coaching. That's what we see.
Okay, let me see. So basically what it is, I'm not sure why it's called a pineapple chart, but it's basically a chart where teachers can fill in a day and a time where they have a cool lesson like prepared for. Can you guys see it now? Yes. Okay. And so this would then be displayed at a teacher workroom or somewhere where teachers visit every day. And peer teachers can then come to the academic coach or to their administrators and say, hey, so-and-so is doing this on Wednesday or Tuesday. They're going to do reciprocal learning. I really want to go see that. Can I go observe that? We provide coverage, and then the teacher just goes in. No notes, no post-conference, just an observation, just to go just observe. And I thought this is a really, really cool idea. I really like that. It would be cool if we could pull it off. So this is part of the whole promoting teacher leaders on there.
So the reason why it's called the pineapple chart, because the pineapple in Hawaii is a welcoming. So it's like a welcoming into your classroom.
Okay.
So that's why they call it pineapple chart. And I love the pineapple charts because if you go in under Twitter and you look at the hashtag observe me, you'll find a whole bunch of different little fun examples and things, but also where people have they'll have little things like, hey, I'm working on this, please tell me how I did, just little things like that, where and it's again kind of like that welcoming, like, come on into my classroom. So and the campuses I've seen where this has been really effective are the ones where the teachers are really the organizers of it, and the ones that are like, yeah, let's put that on there, let's get that on the calendar, and just being able to go in and do that. It's great to see it in action when it's working.
Yeah, I really love it. I feel like the teachers kind of need to be willing to take that risk, right? Because sometimes they're like, oh, I don't want anybody in my class. But again, that goes back to us and how we're modeling that as well, right? And owning, hey, you know what? I modeled this for you. It went awful, but that kind of starts to create that culture in your campus of that. But I thought it was an awesome idea. Let me see. Am I back on my presentation? Oh, good deal. Where am I at? I think this is our last slide already. The next bullet point was modeling technology. So just ensuring that we are modeling all the new things that we're learning, especially with the way this year has gone, different programs, apps, different tricks, how to grade faster, things like that, to make sure that we're modeling that. A big one is engaging parents and community. I think that, at least in my campus, that's something we can probably improve on too. I feel like we've just been so focused on the hybrid, the kids, how to even, figure out this new way of teaching, that we kind of left all the extracurricular activities, the reading nights and math nights. It's kind of a drive-by, and so it's not very personal. So how can we reach out to our parents through this style or this type of teaching? And then telling your story. I thought this one kind of went back to celebrating your wins, but telling your story again, just if the kiddo did something great, making sure that we're making a deal of it, that we're telling that story, or a teacher story if it's something that they did great. And again, all of this with the purpose of creating that culture of a risk-free culture, one that, it's a community, we're all in it together, type of thought that you want your campus to have. And I believe that was it. That's all that we had. Haglin, did you want to add anything to that?
No, Rory did a great job at the end. I loved it. I'm sorry I was late, but this was a good section to have, especially with us coaching. Like, the last part was really helpful. It related to technology, but it helped. Like, the quote that Nora added, I was going to add it in the front. We had done the sections, and I got something a little bit different from it, but I loved her perspective on that quote. Like, I got it as, like, you can't do this alone. You have to have everyone working with you, because if you have somebody against you, you're gonna be slowed down. But I liked her perspective on it too. So I thought that was really neat, because we read the same thing, but we got such different ideas. But at the end, it was for the same impact,
Okay.
That's
So it's a good
excellent.
one.
Yeah, and I think you guys hit it too. Like, it is about that teamwork. It is about building that culture, right? And you're seeing that, like, throughout this unit, which is like a super quick one, but it has a lot of good stuff in it. It does have a lot of good things, a lot of good ideas. I know the part with the team, like forming a team, and where they talk about the technology that's available, filters, all those things. Maybe you don't have to have a formal team, but just know who your people are and keep it transparent and keep those communication lines open. We have technology facilitators, we have the coaches, you have your learning coordinators, and then we also have technology services, so we all have to talk and chat and, things like that. But I know if anyone wants to start forming a team, hey, do it, nothing's stopping you, and imagine how much more efficient it would be as well, So I think that's really good. And then all the parts about amplifying too, real easy way to do that, guys, is with social media. If you don't already have your professional Twitter account, get one, because it's starting to grow now. I'm seeing it more in Southwest, your campuses all have it. And that is really taking ownership of your story, your campus story, your coaching story. And that's a really easy way for you to highlight what you're doing in the classroom. And then all you have to do is go back and pull links, and just show, like, oh yeah, I remember I worked with that teacher on this. Check this out. Look at what happened here. So definitely, if you haven't thought about doing that, think about getting your Twitter account for yourself as a coach. And then you can always hashtag your campus, and whatever other hashtag you're going to have, you can highlight your teachers and what's happening on your campus that way.
Lizzie,
I don't know if anybody has anything else. Mm-hmm.
Can we create accounts, like social media accounts, with our district email?
Yes, yes. And just remember that it's going to be, it's your district one, it's public, so just remember that, like, when you're following things. And if you, like, I'm always very careful with taking pictures of students. It's never like one-on-one. And if I have no way of knowing, like, that their parents have signed a release form, then I always do, like, backs of heads, hands working on things, things like that. My Twitter handle is @TechCoachLizzie. I'll drop it in the chat here, but you can kind of go in and see some ideas. there are a lot of teachers that, and this is Twitter. And then we also have our Innovate account too, our department account. And then I know Laura, Alonso, Dale, like if y'all want to drop yours in there too, your Twitter handles, you can kind of go in there and see. But a lot of teachers, what they'll do is they'll put the stickers on the kids' faces. So it'll be like a happy face, or they'll put sunglasses over them, things like that. But it's a great, quick and easy way, guys, to highlight your teachers and everything that's happening there. But if you go to Twitter and check those out, check out those Twitter handles there, you guys can kind of see examples, because we're definitely doing it with our department too. And it's something that's growing. So that's a quick, easy way to do that too. And yes, you can use your work account for that. Use your work account. All right, does anyone have anything else that they want to add, big takeaways that they had from the unit or from the section? Appropriate wait time. All right. Okay, great, guys. So what we're gonna do then is I will take a look at the survey. I'm gonna send the poll out to everyone else that wasn't here today, so they can put in their 2 cents on how they want to move forward with the Google coaching. If we're gonna take a pause, you know, what we're gonna do. So I'll let you guys know what's gonna happen if we continue the learning in the summer, or, you know, and if we decide to take a pause and you want to continue, you go right ahead. You know, this is just for us. Again, very casual, just to keep us all accountable and moving forward with this. All right, we want to thank y'all so much for being here, because I know this is a hard time of year to be here. so thank y'all so much, and good luck to you guys as you wrap up the year. I'll send some emails out with the information of what's going to happen next, and also some pineapple chart stuff. I'll put some stuff in there because it seemed like you guys really like that, and some Twitter stuff too. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all so much. We'll stay on if any of you guys have any questions. Thank you, Nora and Deborah, for leading us this time. Yeah, thank you. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you.
Bye. All right.